Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. The ritual I do every night is, can I say a bit of it at least?
Go ahead.
Light a diya, offer prasad, and do my job. And have my own personalized conversation with
Right.
God. It's a very raw, rudimentary, basic, yet powerful practice.
Absolutely.
I've had experiences doing this. I get emotional. If I ever do it in a temple sometimes, like I just went to Kashmir. I found the one Shiva temple in Gulmarg. It's on the top of a hill.
Okay.
Stunning. And you're in sub-zero temperatures. In minus 13 degrees, you go inside that temple and you do your job. I had such a strange experience. I just did one mala job. But I didn't feel sad or happy. I was feeling cold. Finished the mala. And then the moment I opened my eyes, I realized my eyes were full of water and there was lots of water that had come out of my eyes. So I questioned whether I cried or not. I don't know if I cried because I didn't feel sad or happy. I was just feeling connected and there was lots of water pouring out of my eyes. Which is why I don't know if these were tears or something else. Yeah, this is the summer picture. Now imagine it in winter.
Okay.
It's at the top of this hillock. Yeah, can you see that's the winter picture?
Okay.
It's been the honor of my life to actually meditate in that mandir.
It's beautiful.
But my point of saying this is, what's the difference between this practice of this basic mala jap and then practicing a whole Havan? Is it like the Havan is a much more charged ritual, like even more energy gets released? Why don't more people talk about Havans in the first place?
Why?
Don't more people?
People do. Havan is an integral part of dharmic ritual practices. It has its own rules, pros and cons. In the traditional format when you're doing, so basically the idea is that you do a certain amount of mantra japa and then a part of it you give in fire. So basically you can do, so you are doing sadhana, when you're doing mantra japa, you are actually, the element that is getting activated is you're working through the air. Vayu mantra is because you're chanting the mantra, right? So then fire is, Havan is basically, you are using Agni Tattva. Okay. Similarly, there is Tarpan. Tarpan is Jal Tattva. Marjan, Bhojan. Bhojan is actually your, basically the earth element where you are feeding people actually. So all these things are equally important. They have their own specific significances and correctly used, they make it absolutely terrific. It's important to follow the correct usage and important to follow what the guidelines that the Shastras have given for centuries in these matters. Because in my opinion, and I differ with a lot of people on this, so these days I see many places that only Havan is, so more or less people, go ahead and have this idea that just by doing homas, Havan alone, one can attain. But there's no evidence of that. It is even, in fact, contrary to the established norms of all traditional sampradayas, whether it's tantric or Vedic or anything. Nobody, you can go to a Shankaracharya and meet him and ask him, can I do Havan on and off? No, you will say there is a procedure, there is a method, there is an amount of japa of the deity, etc. Then you do, because it's a very intense process. Something that is very intense has to be controlled and coordinated in the right manner, and then it becomes useful. Or one leaves society completely, becomes a sadhu. Some sadhu sampradayas, not the Vedantic sampradayas. Vedantic sampradayas, they give up fire rituals also. In certain other sadhu sampradayas in North specifically, after many years of sadhana, the guru may allow you to keep something known as dhuni. Dhuni is a 24/7 fire. Okay, and it is extremely potent. But remember, it is not for a householder, it is not for any other average person, it is for somebody who has the capacity to handle it. Fire is very powerful. Extremely potent method of upasana is fire. Because when a thing is extremely powerful, you use it with the right reverence, right manner, right quantity. This whole thing is very important. Japa is important, fire is important, tarpana is important, certain deities are there. Ganpati, for example, if you have a diksha of proper traditional way of diksha, one of the best things to do is tarpan to Ganpati.
What is Tarpan?
Tarpan is just like you do tarpan to Pitrus. Tarpan means, it comes from the word which means to satisfy. you feel satisfied. So you're doing tarpana to your ancestors with water and black til and all that somebody does, etc., and saying that be satisfied. Tarpana is to be done for deities also. Devatas also. You say the mantra of the deity will be there, and then there's a phrase that has to be added with tells them that okay, I'm doing tarpana to the deity and puja to the deity, etc. Certain count of tarpanas have to be done. It produces remarkable results. Tarpana to some deities are very, very powerful. And in the Kolo Tantric mark, since we are talking of that, tarpana is to be done using alcohol. So you give karan to the devata and you use the phrase and say that I am doing your tarpana. You be satisfied with it. So these are very powerful processes. It's not just only one thing is there. The greatest upasaka is one whose mind has become so tuned. So he knows what exactly is needed of this. You don't do blindly everything. What is to be done when a Havan is needed, then you do a Havan. But there are some procedures before that. There is certain amount of Japa that has to be done, certain amount of tuning with the mantra. If that is not there, if you keep blindly doing Homa, it will not lead to any... you can claim various things. Claim is irrelevant, I tell you. What you claim makes no sense. It is what the world will claim or see, that is what. So traditional idea is more or less, you do, you graduate to doing Homas in a controlled manner after you have first completed Japa and all that. In fact, Japa is so important that Japa is the only thing that can take you, if you are capable, into the Akash Tatva, which is the most powerful of all the Tattvas. Akash Tattva, entering into the state of the Akash Tattva is not possible while doing Homas or Tarpana or other things.
When you say entering the state of Akash Tattva, do you mean astral travel?
No. It's a change in your consciousness. During Japa it is possible. Not always, those who can do it. Yes, if somebody is that elevated, that he's 24/7 in that state of the Akash Tattva, then whatever activity he does, whether he's doing a Homa or whether he's cooking something, he's in that state. That's extremely rare. The reason why Japa is so important is only during intense Japa only, and Japa could be Nama Japa, Mantra Japa, whatever you're doing. For days and days and days, you can enter into a state of the Akash Tattva. In the state of Akash Tattva only, you understand the true potency of the mantra of the Devata. Akasha is very vast. It is present everywhere and it is nowhere. It is the subtlest of the elements. Other elements have some wind, you can feel the wind, right? Fire, you can see the fire. Water, you can feel the fire thing. Earth is stable like that. Akasha is none of these, and yet it is more powerful than all of this.
Ether.
For lack of better words. Only when your japa enters into that state, your meditation enters into that tattva, connects to that, then you start having the actual experiences of the deity. It is without the Akash Tattva, you are still at the struggler level.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.